Thanks for checking out another video from Blue Collar Outdoors. Today we're diving in talking about target panic. If you've shot bow for any amount of time, or maybe you're just brand new, maybe you have target panic and you don't even realize it, but the ones of us that have been shooting for a long time have probably experienced target panic at one point or another. And what target panic is, imagine you're at full draw and you got this aimed at your target and you just can't seem to get that pin on your target. It's like some mental thing is going on and your brain just will not allow you to get that pin on target. That right there is called target panic. It's like this mental block that just does not let you go ahead and crack off that arrow. It just won't do it. So a lot of deer have been missed. A lot of targets have been missed from people having target panic. And I still struggle with this from time to time. If you shoot a release aid like this, I think it adds to the potential to have target panic, just in my opinion, because I'm used to shooting guns. A lot of people are, and they like to, fire this off like they would a gun. And it's just not how it works in archery. It has to be a little bit more fluid, and the mental thing is a lot different than when you're shooting a gun. So let's dive into this, guys. We're gonna see if we can cure your target panic today and give you some tips and tricks on how to overcome that, and just some of the things that I've learned to help me get through target panic over the years. So let's get into this right now. So the first thing I would do if you have target panic is go ahead and probably get rid of this type of release aid. I tell you, for the life of me, I've shot these probably since I was, 5 or 6 years old, and I'm 32 now. So I've been shooting these for a long time, developed a lot of bad habits, but hey, it's got the job done. But let's go ahead and just get rid of this thing. In my opinion, that's gonna help out the most. Need to pick you up some type of thumb release aid. This right here has been the key for me to get over target panic. I mean, it's almost non-existent now. So this thumb release right here changes the game with the mental thing for me. And I'll try one of these out at your local bow shop or something, and you might see that it could change your target panic as well. So nice relaxed grip on this, and it's just different. You're using your thumb in a way, and honestly, it's a thumb release, but we'll talk about the mechanics and check out my other video on how to use one of these properly. But essentially, you're putting some tension on that barrel of the trigger and you're squeezing with your shoulder blade. That right there takes out the mental thing of you shooting a gun into, you're just moving your shoulder, you're tightening up your shoulder blade. That allows you to keep the front of the bow and your pins on target, and you're just squeezing instead of thinking about trying to fire off a shot. For me, that mental block right there was immediately gone when I started practicing with one of these release aids. And for me, I practice in my garage a lot. I'll just set up the target, 3 or 4 feet away, and just sit there working on my mechanics, just squeezing nice and easy, cracking the shot off, making sure I have a good anchor point as well. And that has helped tremendously. Let's go ahead and shoot some and show you what I'm talking about. So for me, just a nice relaxed grip right here in the first set of knuckles. I'm gonna go ahead and get my anchor point, wrap my thumb around the barrel of that trigger device. Okay, and I'm just gonna squeeze my shoulder blade back. That right there. It's almost like an unanticipated shot. It takes out that waiting and anticipation for that shot and that arrow to fly. So give that a try. For me, it worked miracles, and it's just been a game changer. So give that a try. Squeeze that shoulder blade once you have nice constant tension on that release device right there. That right there is gonna be huge. So another thing you can do to mitigate target panic, and this has helped me before I even switched over to this, is I would have the tendency to pull back, and where I do a lot of hunting and stuff, I don't like to, have a big draw where I'm like this. I like to have a more fluid draw where, the animal's right in front of me. I don't want to have a lot of movement, and I'm just nice easy draw like that, where it's not creating a lot of movement, where the deer's going to see me out of their peripheral vision. Well, for me, what I used to do, I would end up aiming low and I would have to come up into the target. For me, that added to the mental block, and I would just find myself searching around that target. And then I found out that if I go ahead and aim high and then come down into the target, I was able to hold on to that target a little bit better. So that is the second tip I would suggest, is when you draw back, don't try to go up into the target, go down into the target. And you know, I used to try to just come straight in on the target, and I would find myself just bouncing around everywhere. The thing for me was just coming down into the target. And if you're already one of those guys that, you know, goes way up high like that, maybe put that into your draw where you're automatically just coming down into it and then finding that anchor point. All right, let's fire one off here. So guys, if you're experiencing target panic, try some of these tips and tricks, and hopefully that's going to help you out some. Switching to this type of release aid is a big game changer. Focusing on not necessarily activating the trigger, but just a nice even pressure that's going to just naturally make your hand tense up and make that trigger go off. Getting rid of one of these, or if you do use one of these, focus on relaxing your hand and firing it off. Don't shoot it like a gun. When you shoot it like a gun, that just adds to that target panic. And for me, it was just awful. So don't do that. Try one of these out at your local bow shop. And then that second thing, coming down into the target versus, you know, coming up or just straight in at the target where you're just bouncing around a lot. I found that, I don't know, for some reason when I drew back straight on the target and the pins were already on it, it's like it was too good to be true. So my mind was just bouncing around all over the place. So use some of those tips, and I think it's going to help you out. Guys, like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Check out my other videos on the channel on how to shoot compound bows and do maintenance and things like that on your bows. And we'll catch you in future videos. Thanks for watching.